Welcome to your top secret forecast. I'm Storm Tracker 16 meteorologist Ally Gallo with John Meyer. Kind of a lot to talk about today. Today's the calm before the storm.
It really is. And you know, yesterday we had nice weather, but it was that wind, and that's at least this morning going down.
Yeah, so it is going to be a colder day today, but already have seen those improvements with the wind overnight last night, now into this morning, and we actually continue to see those winds calming as the day goes on today. So a colder day, kind of still a cloudy day, maybe some breaks of sun, but it is the calm.
But there's a big but here, yes.
So temperatures were in the 30s all day long. We did drop down into the teens and 20s overnight last night, which is where we are starting out this morning. This afternoon, either side of that 30-degree mark. So I think warmer spots, central Pennsylvania, may hit freezing, maybe a degree or two warmer than that. Colder spots staying in the 20s all day, but right around 30 is our forecast high. It is dry all day, with the exception of maybe a few flakes this morning. It is dry all day. It's dry into tonight. Overnight, not so much. So we've been talking about the storm for the last several days, and it is going to bring a mix of everything. Not only that, it's the timing of when that everything moves in. So here's a look at what you need to know. Starts as mainly all snow. Maybe in central Pennsylvania may already see that mix of sleet mixing in, but it starts overnight after about 2-3 a.m. and then it moves from the southwest towards the northeast as the morning goes on. So just in time for the morning commute. 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m. tomorrow, we're seeing everything. So it's going to be doing something everywhere, whether it's snow, whether it's a mix of snow and sleet and freezing rain. It's going to be doing something throughout the entire morning commute.
And what we know is whatever that is can make things slick.
Of course, yes. It is wintry weather no matter what. In fact, I don't even know that we're necessarily going to see that change over to plain rain even happening. Not because it's not going to warm up, but it's going to warm up and it's going to end so quickly. So I think it does taper off and come to an end before we even see that changeover really happening. Because again, late morning, early afternoon, I think this is out of here. I think it's wrapped up for all of us. And then by then, we're in the mid upper 30s, closer to 40 as the day goes on. But again, that morning commute, it's going to be slick no matter what it's doing, no matter when that changeover happens. And then ending by, I would say, 10, 11 a.m. So it moves in from the west to the east. It's also going to move out from the west to the east. So central Pennsylvania sees those improving conditions first. Temperatures warming. Again, 40 is our forecast high for tomorrow.
But not till it's all over.
Not until it's all over. So it actually, we may hit 40 tomorrow night. It's going to be mid and upper 30s as the day goes on, eventually getting to 40, I think, by tomorrow evening. But the National Weather Service has issued those winter weather advisories. So we're all seeing those winter weather advisories. It's just to our west and southwest, those ice storm warnings are in effect. That's where I think it's going to be mainly freezing rain. I think we are going to get the better end of it in terms of where it's snowing. I think sleet is going to mix in, so that keeps snowfall totals down. But where we're also seeing the freezing rain, sleet also mixing in, which keeps ice totals down too. So maybe best case scenario. I mean, again, timing is not at all, but
I guess when you're looking at all this, sleet probably would be the ideal thing.
Yes, because
it
does
slick.
Yeah, it does keep snow totals down. It also keeps those ice totals down too. So I do think a lot of us will be seeing sleet. Farther east, it's going to be snow mixing in. Farther west, I think, is where we'll see that freezing rain mixing in.
The interesting thing I noticed when you showed this is until Thursday at noon.
Yes.
So it really is a morning commute in the late morning.
Yes. And it's actually the winter weather advisory is until Thursday at noon for much of the area. Farthest north and east, it does go until 4 o'clock. That's just because different forecast offices issue different alerts. It can be canceled before 4 o'clock tomorrow. The National Weather Service monitors those improvements, those conditions and improvements as the day goes on. So it is technically for east of Interstate 81 until 4, but we see this precipitation wrapping up by 11, 12 p.m. It's out of here. So again, all of us seeing that winter weather advisory, but this morning, really not seeing a whole lot. Maybe just a few flakes. That is about it for now. Lots of cloud cover. I think you're seeing some snow showers showing up on radar, but I don't know that that's necessarily even hitting the ground, but maybe some flakes possible. Some breaks of sun also possible today. Overnight tonight, there it is. Okay, so timing it out. 2, 3 a.m., it moves in from the southwest and it moves towards the northeast as the morning goes on. So by 4, 5 a.m., it continues towards the northeast. This is 6 a.m. So again, for all of us, it's doing something.
And when you're showing a map like this, obviously it's showing snow here. The models can't depict, okay, it's definitely going to be snowing at 6:30 in Wilkes-Barre.
I think what's showing up on radar future radar, I think the purples, it's probably going to be snow and sleet.
Okay.
I think the pinks are more going to be sleet and freezing rain. I think that's kind of what the models are trying to show. I think, again, the Scranton, Wilkes-Barre areas farther east, we are going to see snow, but we're going to see that sleet mixing in. So accumulating, it's going to be like that slushy, icy accumulating snow. Whereas central Pennsylvania, I think especially Union, Snyder counties farther south and west, we're going to see sleet, but that freezing rain too. So I think ice accumulations will be higher farther west. I think snow accumulations will be higher. I say higher. It's really, again, it's only about an inch or two, but I think it'll be more so that slushy, snowy accumulation farther east. So still kind of icy, but the freezing rain that accumulates, that ice that accumulates, that clings, and it clings to everything. It clings to, tree branches, power lines, and that's when power outages become a concern too. So that's why freezing rain is so dangerous.
So anyone that wakes up tomorrow morning and sees it raining, it's freezing raining.
Not. It's
freezing on contact.
Yes, exactly. And again, on everything. So morning commute, again, 6, 7, 8 a.m. It's doing something, whether it's snow, sleet, freezing rain, it's doing something. It's going to be that wintry weather. And then 8, 9, 10 a.m., central Pennsylvania, you can see it's starting to taper off. So we're seeing those improvements as the morning goes on. From west to east, it does taper off. And then the rest of the day, it's funny, by noon, 1, 2 o'clock, it's dry.
So it's a quick hitter, but just at the worst possible time.
Exactly. It moves in quickly, but it moves out very quickly too. Temperatures rise. So that's why I said, not that we're not going to see that change over to plain rain, because we're not going to see the warm up. Just there's no time to see that change.
The precipitation moves out before the temperatures warm up.
Exactly. So then the rest of the day, cloudy, dry, highs getting close to 40. So there's a look at some snowfall totals. Again, I think it's that slushy 1 to 2, maybe some isolated 3 inches. Those amounts will be farther east. Central Pennsylvania, not really talking anything in terms of snowfall accumulation, but there's where I think we could see that over 1/10 of an inch of ice. And you can see this particular model showing closer to 2/10 of an inch. So it's 2/10 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. That's when things get really tricky in terms of not only just the ice, but power outages and things like that. So that would be our biggest concern, I think, farther south and west. And just to our south and west is where the ice storm warning.
Yeah, when you look at when they describe that, once it hits that 1/4 inch around there, then it really can start causing trouble.
That 1/10 of an inch, that's considered a light glaze. More than that becomes more of a concern. So I think central Pennsylvania is where we'll have to keep an eye on that. You can see this particular model. I think this is doing a good job of showing eastern Pennsylvania. Again, it's more going to be that slushy, snowy accumulation in eastern Pennsylvania. So
and really, these kind of ice situations, we don't get them that often, like a 1/4 inch of ice. We've had them.
Right.
And we've seen them, but they can be tough if it's that much ice.
Exactly. Yeah, because, this far north, we're dealing more so with just, the plain snow or the plain rain, not necessarily these mixed bag storms. So not only are we talking about a mixed bag storm for overnight tonight, tomorrow morning, but another one for the weekend. And it's actually looking like a very similar setup. So timing a little bit different, but moving in quickly, moving out quickly, as well as the mixed precipitation, pretty much everything. So Friday is quiet, brisk, a bit colder, but I think we'll have some sunshine. And then the next one moves in for the weekend. So I didn't even get to talk about this morning, but we could talk about it here. So I do think Saturday.
So this is going ahead to Saturday now.
Yes. Okay. So I think
so
Saturday.
You're right. This looks just like the map you're showing for tomorrow morning.
Saturday morning, afternoon is okay. I think timing with this one is a little bit earlier than I think it's going to be late afternoon, more so into Saturday evening that we see that moving in, starting as snow through the overnight hours, changing over, and maybe even seeing that plain rain. So when I come into work Sunday morning, that's when I think we'll be dealing with the worst of it. So again, timing a little different. I think it's a little bit earlier, but then I think it's also out of here earlier, 9, 10 a.m. Sunday, it's out of here. So if you do have any traveling to do for the Super Bowl, afternoon, evening, there may be some residual delays, but as far as precipitation goes, the storm goes, I think it's done. It's long out of here.
Because a lot of people have a lot of places to go Sunday afternoon into the evening. So that should be pretty good.
I do think so. And once again, a similar setup, temperatures warming above freezing, close to 40. I think we'll stay in the 30s on Sunday, but getting into the upper 30s, so getting above freezing as the day goes on Sunday. So a very similar type setup for the weekend. There's the 7-day forecast. So for now, we do have that weather impact alert for Thursday morning. Again, those improvements by Thursday afternoon. Partly sunny, brisk on Friday, but quiet. And then we'll likely be issuing that weather impact alert for overnight Saturday into early Sunday. But I do think Sunday afternoon and evening should be good. I'm driving to Philly no matter what on Sunday afternoon, but it should be okay.
You know, the one thing that you've said preparing for this that I do think really is helpful is the whole sleet pings, freezing rain clings. And it gets in your mind because it's both ice, but very different.
Very different.
And the results
you learn that in school and then you never forget it. And I mean, it really, because you know what I'm talking about, like on your coat, sleet just pings right off of it. But freezing rain, a lot of times you don't even really know it's ice because it's just falling as rain. And then it's just that coating, that clinging.
Last Friday, we had that little bit of freezing rain and our son wiped out twice on the sidewalk, just walking on. I said, it's ice. Watch your step. Now he's little, so he's not falling that far. But it just, all it takes is a little glaze of that freezing rain.
And it's, the things that aren't treated. So sidewalks.
Yes.
Things like that.
So be careful tomorrow morning.
Have a good day.